What's this do? Oh, am I live? Guys, I am live. I'm doing it live. I know probably no one's going to be watching this, but I wanted to come on here because Chris Terrio, the screen writer, the script writer, whatever you have to call it, basically, and I know I'm not wearing a hat, so I look ugly. But anyways, Chris Terrio, oh, there's one person viewing. I don't know who that is, but yeah. Anyways, this is about Zack Snyder's. Oh, it's Nappy. Hey, Nappy, what's up? Oh, it's Nappy. Oh, hi, Nappy. I'm not going to be on long. I just wanted to make this quick video because I don't think I'm going to be able to make a video. But anyways, um, some people who watch my channel know I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. Well, the guy that wrote the script for Justice League just did a Hollywood Reporter article where he basically just trashed Warner Brothers and basically just it was a tell-all. It was basically just a tell-all of Justice League screenwriter. And basically to summarize this all, because I know a lot of people in the Discord of the Zack Snyder one will be liking this video. Basically what he's saying is that he did not like at all what WB did, and we all knew this, but it was corporate meddling with a film that didn't need any corporate meddling. And Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, which is the title of the movie, that was not actually his idea or Zack Snyder's. That was Warner Brothers' idea. They wanted the movie to be called Batman vs. Superman. And I actually kind of like that title. I think that title is actually pretty iconic. But I understand why he wouldn't like it because it's kind of a bit pretentious or whatever. And then basically he's saying that he wanted to create a deep film that wasn't just a stupid action movie, and the studio didn't want that. And they actually wanted, if you remember the scene in BVS at the end where Batman almost marks Lex Luthor with his bat symbol, whatever he tries to put on him, and he doesn't do it. Warner Brothers wanted Batman to actually mark him. And Chris Terrio was like, and you think what I'm doing is dark. And again, a lot of this is stuff we know, but it's just like confirmed from a source, the screenwriter Chris Terrio, that they didn't like any of his ideas after BVS came out because it was a huge disappointment. And the studio were under an intense amount of pressure. And they basically just wanted to make sure that the next film wasn't a fail because BVS didn't make it $1 billion. Critics hated it. And there was even a Wall Street guy, not even a studio executive, not a creative, but a Wall Street guy that I'm assuming worked for Warner Brothers that was like, hey, this is how you're supposed to write Batman. And I'm like, these people don't know what they're doing. It's basically a larger issue of Warner Brothers not knowing how to run a film studio, and they basically self-sabotage their own franchise because this confirmed that Zack Snyder's wait, you read books? I don't know what that means, Nappy. But this confirms that Zack Snyder was not planning on creating this cinematic universe without building up and making storylines. Like, Zack Snyder had an MCU-style vision, but again, Warner Brothers saw Avengers and wanted to get there. And again, this is a constant thing with studios. They want to get to the big crossover film, but they don't put in the work. And that's what it comes down to, basically. And I guess he... Oh, yeah, I do read a lot of books. Yeah, well, I mean, I used to. But anyways, and then what was I gonna say? So yeah, so basically they self-sabotaged themselves into creating this and fast-tracking it. And I guess that the screenwriter didn't even know about Wonder Woman or Aquaman, so he didn't even know how to write them because they weren't telling him. It just shows how incompetent these people are and how they self-sabotage themselves. Like, I beg you to read the article. Oh, Angel, you're here. Yeah, they dropped the ball. 100% they dropped the ball. These people didn't know what they were doing. Now, luckily, we got the Zack Snyder cut, and all that stuff is great. But, yeah, and then for those who know BVS in the Ultimate Edition, he said how that 30 minutes is what made the movie cohesive, and that basically... because they cut those 30 minutes, he agrees with the people that said the movie was stupid because it didn't give any of the character motivation, it didn't give any of the development. It's like Warner Brothers just absolutely messed up on this whole property. And I guess Ben Affleck was the original screenwriter of BVS, and he called in Chris Terrio to help him write the script for BVS. And when Chris Terrio saw Justice League in theaters, he was so mad that he wanted his film credit. He didn't want to be credited as a writer, but Warner Brothers didn't want to do that. But he was, safe to say, very upset about that. And then for those that know Cyborg in the movie Justice League, him and Ray Fisher talked about how important it was to bring a black character to the screen, and this was before Black Panther, and he was just as upset that they kind of cut down the role of Ray Fisher Cyborg, and that they didn't uh, give him his proper dues. And apparently, in the African sequence of BVS, they wanted that to be like a joke, and Chris Terrio was like, "How can you make people dying and suffering a joke?" And again, when he basically wasn't even allowed on the set of Justice League, they told him that you're not allowed in, and he had conversations with some of the people. And then when they did the reshoots, Joss Whedon basically said, "I don't want you here," and they wanted that sitcom, lighthearted, funny tone. But we already knew this. What else did he say? And again, yeah, he said so. There was never any thought to how the world was constructed before they issued this edict. And again, Warner Brothers is solely responsible. People like Zack Snyder was responsible. Chris Terrio. This was all Warner Brothers' fault. They self-sabotaged themselves and created this mess, this absolute just pure show of just messery. And again, and the Wonder Woman script wasn't even finished when he began Justice League, and he said Justice League had to establish the long game mythology, resurrect Superman, introduce the characters. So how could it be 2 hours long? But again, that was just Warner Brothers wanting that mandate. And what else did they do? Oh, and this was a very moving quote to me, and I'm going to just read this. He said, "Cyborg is the one character who can't disguise himself. He lives in his skin. His otherness is a constant fact of his life. And to me, in Ray, that speaks about being a black man in America. You cannot remove the otherness that people force upon you. And therefore, Cyborg, when he becomes the hero that he always should have been and was meant to be, that felt like something really strong that he wanted the world to see." And then what else happened? So basically, he's saying that Justice League doesn't represent his actual work. And then he said he's happy that people critique the Zack Snyder version because that is his work, and he can get fair critique on his own work. And he said, the interviewer said, "Do you ever feel like they deliberately made you the scapegoat?" And he said, "I'm a deeply paranoid person, so I'm always assuming that everyone has it in for me. Justice League, the Zack Snyder version, is the only script other than Argo that I have a sole writer credit on. I developed this, so I can stand by this vision, love it or hate it." And so basically, that's the gist of the article. Him talking about his time there and how, he signed on to Justice League because he wanted to, show the characters in a lighter tone compared to BVS, which he knew was going to be a dark movie. And what else happened? He said there was a mood of fear at the studio, no doubt. And then he said that the reason why he didn't want Bruce to put the mark on Lex Luthor was because it didn't represent an arc for him, because he starts out as this guy that's killing everyone, but then at the end he sees the errors of his ways and promises to change by forming the League. So that just goes to show that anyone who thinks that BVS didn't have a character arc is wrong. And they said basically the studio cut the stuff that wasn't the big action big action set pieces. So basically the nuance of the film, the scenes that are giving meaning to those bigger action sequences. And he said, "I think that's a problem not only with this film, but all tentpole films." And this guy is speaking facts. Like, most people won't do this, but he did, and I'm happy that he's doing it. And yeah, and he basically said that he didn't know why people want to see. They may not have been an angle to me wanted to talk about. And basically saying kind of what a lot of people that, love the BVS film are saying, and that's that that these superheroes they do these things, but you don't see the consequences, the greater political overtones, and people weren't ready for that. People don't want to see their heroes seen in a more flawed light. Yeah, and again, it's crazy. Um, yeah, it just you should read the article for sure. Um, so what was I want to read the quote though. I want to find the quote. And I guess a lot of his Hollywood friends stopped talking to him after the movie was such a failure. Um, uh, and he said the movie was always BVS. He's talking about the movie BVS was always going to be dark. There were always going to be people who just didn't want to see that version of a comic book world. And what's the quote? I want to find this quote. He said, I didn't want to make a sitcom joke that Batman and Superman are trying to kill each other. If I'm going to work on this movie, it's going to be dark and operatic and uncomfortable. And again, people don't want to see that. Jake Paul's overrated at boxing. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but you, my friend, are speaking facts. Facts, man. He is overrated. I am going to be streaming the Ben Askren fight. You'll just see my reaction, not the actual fight. But look out for that when the fight comes. And they said, referring to BVS, as I looked on the movie, it seemed to me that it was a snapshot of what I was feeling on the ground in the country, which maybe didn't become apparent to the madness and division of the past presidency. I thought this superhero film could be about getting into our worst natures, but then coming out of that into a redemption. So basically, Warner Brothers just messed with a very nuanced film that was trying to be different, trying to be deep and profound. And Marvel fans come at me, but BVS was actually trying to say something. And I love Marvel, but they're very simplistic. So anyways, that's the video. I just wanted to make this quick live stream about BVS and the whole Chris Terrio article. Hollywood Reporter's been killing it. We had the Joss Whedon article, the Scott Rudin article, and now this. It's like people are getting exposed. I don't want to go over the Joss Whedon article because it's old news and there's a lot of stuff to it. But again, it's what we already knew was going to happen. So if no one's got anything else to say, I think I'm gonna go because I don't have a lot of time. But you know, I'm this is a new thing I'm trying out, but my storage for my videos just doesn't hold. So these live streams are so much easier to do because then I can just save it and post it. So when this live stream ends, you guys will be able to see it. But make sure to like, sub, and comment, or dislike. I don't care. This is just my video. For anyone that's on the Discord, I'm going to be promoting it on the Zack Snyder Discord stuff. So hopefully you stay for the whole video, but you guys probably already have read about this stuff. But yeah, man. Warner Brothers they dropped the ball on this, and I'm just glad that it's finally coming out to light. And for the one person, whoever's watching this, watch Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max because it is one of the black and white version, with the aspect ratio and the R rating did better than the PG-13 mainstream version, which just goes to show that people want something unique and different. Ow, I hurt my hand. But yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. I think that's pretty much all I have to say really about this. I might do more of these live streams later on in my YouTube career, but this will definitely be saved. But I love these streams because I get to make them as long as I need them to be, regardless of storage. So that is the live stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Nappy. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Arthur Games 16. I'm assuming, Nappy, you're the only one that's still here. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.